Hi, my name is Jay and welcome back to another tutorial to make it happen with Jay. So today we're going to learn how to make a bicycle chain in ZBrush, and then we're going to turn it into IMM curve brush so we can put it on the chain rings of the bike. So let's get started. So now we have ZBrush loaded up and we're going to work with the ZModeler. And the ZModeler requires a low poly model, and for that go to Tools, choose Star, scroll down to initialize, and with the default number just hit the Q cylinder and drag it out and hit edit. As you see, colors are too dim and it's hard to see. In order to work with ZModeler better, go to materials and change it to skin shape 4. Go to brush and choose ZModeler. As you see, ZModeler has a top menu as the IMM brush, and if it's taken away a lot of space off your screen, as it does to me, you can take it away, and for that go to Preferences, Interface, and IMM Viewer, hit Auto Show and Hide. Press W, E, or R to bring out the gizmo, hover over the rectangle, make it smaller, hit Q. So the ZModeler is able to work with the three parts of the model. First is the polygons, second is the edges, and third is the point. So depending on where you hover over your mouse and press spacebar, you're going to have a different options and menu. For example, this is for polygons, this is for the edge, and this is for the point. So let's start working with this. Hover over the edge, hit spacebar with insert selected single edge loop, press Alt, and the Alt is going to work as a Z sub, and it's going to delete. As you see, it's the minus icon is appearing on the arrow. With that, hit once to delete that. Hover over the point, choose split, drag out. ZModeler has a feature to remember the last operation you did with a certain point, edge, or the polygon, so it's going to repeat the operation if you just hit once again. Let's go to Subtool and duplicate it a couple of times. You'll understand it later why. Now I have to make it solo, so the other parts is not going to disturb me. Bring out the gizmo, press Control, hover over the arrow, drag out to copy the tool inside one subtool. Should be okay. Clear up the mask. And now let's hover over the polygon. So, hit spacebar, choose delete. When you're working with the polygons, if you press Alt, it's gonna give a white color and it works as a masking tool. For example, we just mask these areas, and if you want to delete, for example, hit once and it's gonna delete only those which is colored with white, which means like masking. But it should be something different, but for me it works as a masking tool. Hover over the edge again with Alt, hit delete, and it's gonna delete these four parts. Hover over the edge, hit spacebar, choose bridge and two holes. Hit once on this side and press again on the other. And without letting go the left mouse, if you move your mouse to left or right, it's going to give a shape, and if you move your mouse to up and down, it's going to give more edges. But we don't need a shape in the edges, we just need one edge, that's it. Mask out this edge, flip the mask, bring out the gizmo. So when you're working with the gizmo, if you work with the Alt, it's going to only work with the gizmo itself. For example, you can move this gizmo with Alt, press it. But if you work only with this without Alt, it's going to work with the model itself, so keep in mind. Click to bring out the unmasked area. Hover over the rectangle, just make it smaller. Should be okay. Clear out the mask. So press D to see it in a more smooth way. So as you see, it's too smooth. We just need some sharpness to the edges. Shift D to bring it out. Hover over the edge and choose Insert add the edge. So depending on how close do you add the edge to this edge, it's going to make it, is it going to be sharp or more smoother? For example, if you put it this one too close to the edge and this one is not that close, press D. As you see, this part is more smoother than this one. But delete that, bring the edge. Should be okay. So now, hover over this polygon, and again with Alt selected you can select these parts, but you can choose other options. For example, you can work not with a single poly but with a polygroup island, and it's going to work only with this polygroup, which is embedded with the other polygroup. For example, like this. Choose Q mesh. Or you can work with the polygroup all, which is not that functional for us. Let's go and just mask it out for now. Choose single poly and push it down to the other side to delete that. Hover over the edge again, delete that. So why we delete? Because you should try to keep as low as possible, because this is going to be worked as an IMM and it's going to be a lot of tools, so it's going to be messy later on. It turns out I think we deleted accidentally the edge. So the real chain of the bike is actually made out of 4 panels, 2 inner panels and 2 outer external panels. So copy to make 2 outer external panels. It should be okay. Clear out the mask. Again, copy this. Bring out the gizmo. So when you're working with model, like if it's 2 parts, if you work with rectangle to move around or do any other operation, it's going to work depending on the pivot point of the gizmo. So for example, press Alt, bring out the gizmo. If you want to move, as you see, this part is moving towards the gizmo, so keep in mind that. Let's try to make as close as possible. Don't unmask it. Bring out the gizmo again. So now we have to make this hole move to this part, and for that make your model closer and you can bring out the gizmo to this place, and for that gizmo on, press Alt and press with the left mouse to bring out the gizmo. Hit rotate and now it's here. Make it smaller. We'd actually do it differently. Make it closer to see it better. We should try to match this as good as possible. I think we're okay. Clear out the mask. So this is 2 inner panels and 2 external panels, and now let's start working with the other part of the chain, which is a roller, and the roller is between the panels, and this is the part where it rotates. Closer. So we have to match this one also with the panel, and for that we can actually merge them together already. And to that, let's bring that panel to top and choose that. Go to geometry. Oh no, it's subtool, merge, and merge it down. Okay. we have to add edges to the roller to bring out the gizmo. And now let's apply to every part a single separate poly group. And to that, go to poly groups and hit auto group. So it's going to add a poly group to each part. Bring out the gizmo. Press Ctrl Shift to hide the other parts. So we have the edge, and now we have to make a hole here too. Apply the mask, push it down, overwrite the edge, and delete that. Ctrl Shift. Bring it to the middle. As you see, this is the inner part of this roller is actually a different poly group. So to see that, press Ctrl Shift and X and Ctrl W to apply a single the same poly group. Mask this, bring out the parts, flip the mask. And try to match this one too. We're almost there. So now let's make a copy. Bring out the gizmo, Control and copy this. A little bit higher, a bit smaller, a bit lower. Okay, we're good to go now. Clear out the mask. Press D to see it. Oops, I think we deleted again somehow. Or undo the edge operations. So now we have to bring it again. Almost there. And the last part is the pin. So the pin is the part that connects the roller and the panels together. Shift F to see the polygons. Mask this out with QMesh selected single poly. Drag it out and just don't let go. Press Ctrl to make a separate poly group. And then Ctrl Shift, click once to hide the other parts. Go to Geometry, Modify Topology and delete. On the island, make it bigger. Press D. As you see, the pin is too sharp from the outer side, but I don't need that. Let's make it a little bit smoother. That Shift D to come closer. As you see, this is not it's not an edge, it's a crease, so you can take away the crease. To that, press spacebar to the edge and choose crease, edge loop complete. Press Alt and delete that. And now press D, and this is exactly what we need. Make it closer and close that hole. Now let's merge them together again. Let's apply separate polygroups to other parts again. Control-Shift-click this. Unmask. Copy it again. Shift-D. Try to match as perfect as possible. Unmask. Let's put the pins from the other side. But actually, the real chain has the pin is not like this. It's not like covered. The pin is it's a long rod. But we don't really need that here. But we can simulate it this way. Control, copy again. Bring to the middle. Now, as you see, the creases from the other side, and we have to flip it back. And to that, again, bring out the gizmo, rotate it, and press Shift to rotate it on a certain angle, like 45 and 90 degrees. Press D, and now we're good to go. So our chain is ready. Now let's try to make a IMM curve out of it. And to that, make your chain like exact 90 degrees from top or from the bottom, facing down or facing up, facing up, facing up, or facing down. Not the other way around. Not like this, not like that. Okay, just like this. So it should be facing up or facing down. You can orient it from the head from here. Otherwise, it's not gonna work. Go to Brush, choose Create, Insert Mesh, and New. And I made almost like chain rings of the bike, and I just want to try to match this with that IMM curve brush. And to that, let's go to make another cylinder to try to simulate the bicycle chain rings. Insert a cylinder, go to initialize settings, choose 8 on the Y and the Z axis, hit Q cylinder again, Shift F to see the polygons, make it visible too. Rotate cylinder to match this chain rings. Make it bigger. Control to copy. Transpose. It should be alright for the sake of tutorial. Control W to apply single same polygroups. Get out the transpose. Go to solo mode. And now try to go back to ZModeler. Customer selected, single poly, and try to mask out only the half of the cylinder, like this part. But with the ZModeler, apply a white poly group. And I suggest you to, as less possible masking. Otherwise, for example, sometimes you mask a lot of way and just accidentally you go somewhere else and you have to sacrifice again. So that's why I try to do as less as you can. We can actually do it before copying it, but it's too late now. But it's not that big deal. Mask it to the health till here. Hover over, choose delete, single poly. Hover over the edge, choose bridge, 2 holes. Click once, click twice. As you see, moving right to left, giving a shape, and up and down, giving a more edges, but we don't need both of them. Hover over the edge, choose insert single edge loop, alt, and delete that. So now we have to add a crease. Hover over the edge, choose crease, edge loop complete, hit once, and it's going to add a crease to this line. We need that in order to make a stroke. For that, go to stroke menu, curve functions, unclick border and poly groups, just leave with the creased edges and hit frame mesh, and it's going to add the curve. And go back to brush and choose our chain, go to stroke, curve mode, and make it a little bigger. By the way, let's apply a single poly group, Control W. So as you see, a green circle, hit once, and it's going to add the IMM curve. Make it bigger, it should be okay. Shift F. So almost there, but we need to make chains closer together so they match each other. And to that, let's go to stroke again, make curve step to maybe a 0.7, hit OK, Control Z, hit again, and make it closer to see better. As you see, this is going a bit too far inside, so we have to make a bit far, 0.74 maybe. Control Z. Okay, almost there, but a little bit more. Control Z, stroke, 0.75. Hopefully it's gonna work out, otherwise we're gonna spend a lot of time to match this. Okay, it's too far now. Go back, 0.74, 4 again. Once, make it closer, a bit more. Control Z. Okay, it's almost there. I hope it's gonna work. It is working probably. It's almost perfect. Almost perfect is okay. Control Shift to hide the, flip it, and you can delete the other part. Geometry, modify topology, and delete hidden. And to delete this curve, go to stroke, curve functions, and delete that. And choose other material to see it better. And now you have this. Okay, and now let's try to match this chain with the chain rings. So we delete that, get out the solo mode, and probably we gotta make it a bit smaller, or we should make this chain ring a little bigger and try to make it flat. I actually spent a couple of minutes to make these chain rings, and it doesn't match properly, but for the sake of tutorial it's gonna work out. But if you're working for a real project, I would definitely suggest you to, make it as detailed as possible and try to match the holes of the chain. But today, that's the end of the tutorial. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something new. If you're watching it in the daytime, I wish you have a good day. If it's a nighttime, have a good night. Take care.